Welcome to Zion Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Kenya is exposed on loan debt's high crisis after Moody's company have declined the loan request, saying that our country need to rectify their behavior on loan borrowing. According to Moody's Group, they have declined the loan request and saying that we are on high loan crisis debt, which if they add theirs, then we might default on not paying. I want us to dig deep into this because this is a very shocking news we are receiving as a country.
Well, the recent rating by global rating agency Moody's shows that Kenya has maintained a junk rating of CAA1, which shows that the country's credit risk remains very high, with potential for default or at risk of imminent default. And although Moody's has classified Kenya's outlook as positive, the agency notes that if the government sustains a more effective management of social demand and fiscal consolidation, this would boost Kenya's access to both concessional and commercial external funding. Jimmy Mbogo has more.
Kenya's ability to access concessional and commercial financing at better rates from the international market lies squarely on the government's ability to sustain an effective fiscal consolidation. This is the verdict of global rating agency Moody's, which has placed Kenya at very high credit risk with potential for default in its junk rating of the country at CAA1. Although the agency has expressed optimism with the country's outlook based on the increasing livelihood of Kenya's liquidity risk easing and debt affordability improving over time, as well as the decline in domestic financing costs amid monetary easing. And the agency notes that this can only be achieved if the government sustains a more effective management of social demand and fiscal consolidation, contrary to expression that the positive outlook assessment implies that the economy is doing better.
Basically tells us that there's still some vulnerabilities out there that needs to be addressed. So where Moody's is coming from, obviously they are not looking per se as to the economic fundamentals. They're just looking at the ability of the government to be able to meet its debt obligations as it comes due.
I wouldn't say that something has changed remarkably in our situation that would lead anyone to think that we have improved in terms of the overall circumstance. We have surpassed various thresholds, whether it's debt to GDP ratio or whatever that ceiling that they're trying to do.
With interest payment consuming a disproportionate share of government revenue, experts warn that the country may struggle under the weight of very weak debt affordability. The revelations coming at a time when Treasury bill yields have dropped from 16% to 10% since May 2024, reflecting monetary easing and increased investor confidence in the local bond market.
The carrying capacity for debt in our country right now is very low. Using our own thresholds, when you look at the debt we have accumulated as a proportion of our GDP, it's already high. I think it's about 55% going towards 60%. So looking at our economy as it is and where we generate income and projecting moving forward, the carrying capacity is not going to change much.
So it's one thing accumulating your debt in a sustainable way. It's another thing now accumulating your debt, but now the debt servicing becomes more costlier. So it's a delicate balancing act that we are still keeping an eye on how the government will maneuver it.
High levels of corruption, weak institutional framework, and policy unpredictability have also been cited for creating a difficult environment for fiscal discipline. Additionally, the widespread poverty and unemployment, which in turn creates social instability, further limiting the government's fiscal bandwidth. However, the experts have expressed skepticism that global rating agencies may not paint the clearest picture of a country's risks, particularly in the global south. According to economic analysts, a positive outlook from global rating firm Moody's could mean nothing for the country if the fundamentals of the economy remain the same. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, fellow Kenyans, remember Just the other week, I analyzed that UDA government is being targeted by the World Bank. I even extended my feelings by advising this government and saying that the first priority they ought to check on is on how they can complete the loan and tell Kenyans the truth on what should be done, rather than increasing heavy taxation, making Kenyans to be jobless, and even not creating job opportunity to Kenyans. I mean, this is what I asked UDA government. But look at this shame. We have been denied loan because we have huge debts as a country. I want us to dig deep into this, but before I carry on, good morning and welcome to this broadcast. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you well in good health. Personally, I am fine and I'm very much grateful in this morning hour. Zion Kenya TV is still giving you more updates, and it is all about politics, how we can help this government before it's completely sink. If they want to sink, then let them assume what we are saying. If you are watching me for the first time, please, and you've never subscribed to this YouTube channel, take a 1 second and click that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like my videos, watch, share, and give us your opinion. And to the new subscribers, feel welcome, and as you bother the same boat with the members, please consider to share this video to your friends, family, and relatives. Now, what are the factors for you to be denied a loan? Factor number 1, if you fail to pay, you will not be given any chance. But if you pay a little, you continue paying, then they will see your seriousness and give you a loan. Now, Moody's group company is just raising alert to Ruto's administration that you are going very fast, and at the end, you might not access even the loan from the World Bank. The World Bank might come and auction your country. I told you, and I written that in my headline. Some of you were saying that I write a strange headline, yet it is true. It looks awkward and shame that we are borrowing many loans, but we can't utilize these funds we are borrowing. Kenyans are still suffering. The government itself is not capable to stabilize as a country. Then you wonder and asking yourself, where are you heading to? Drop your opinion, ladies and gentlemen. As you drop your opinion, what are these factors making William Ruto not to be stabilized as a country or as the head of state? At least Kenyans can have a smile on their faces by saying, this is the best government. Because when we recall the late Mike Kibaki's administration, he actually tried his best and takes us to the best level. What about Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto? By that time was the deputy president. And by then, Ruto used to mock Uhuru Kenyatta on the economy issues. Now it is his turn. We are in economic crisis. The Moody's group company are saying no. It is not going to be accepted. You must try as much as you can for you to avoid being in loan risk debt. I mean, the government should also come out clearly and tell Kenyans the truth. How much do we remain with in the debts? From there, Kenyans will also try as much as they can to provide their decision in making. Because for government to grow, it must be people's consent are always sought in decision making. And that is what UDA government is forgetting. No one is happy having loan, even me, even the head of state, in his private life. But loan is bad and also good. It depends on how you use it. What about if we take 2 trillion debt, then the cartels take half of it? How are you going to stabilize or develop ourselves? Now, these are the challenges affecting us. And if you are not keen, the IMF are going to come for us. And most of the politicians are going to hide. Saa hiyo watakuwa wanatoroka. They are going to run away from William Ruto. So if Ruto is not keen, he must question himself before he borrow any loan. And he should learn this from a victory. Why Moody's group is exposing him. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your take? I raise my case at this point, and this is very sad. With them, they are forgotten, and they are planning themselves on how they can rig election or win election 2027. But they don't ask themselves this simple question. Any Kenyan who will be given birth to, what will he or she celebrate in the near future? They don't have time for that. Fellow Kenyans and leaders, let's think bigger and bigger for the future of this country before things goes wrong. This is just a wake-up call, and you must take it serious. Bye-bye.